Toma time! What is going on, guys? Toma Tales here, and I have another life story, life experience that I want to share with you guys so I can turn it into a lesson and open your eyes to the crazy things that happen in this world. Today's topic specifically deals with women again. This specific incident started maybe 2 or 3 months ago. I was out at a bar. I saw this group of 3 girls and they were all attractive and they actually approached me. Long story short, I liked one of them and she liked me. They invited me back to their place. I didn't sleep with them. We did other things, but this girl was visiting from Indiana. We're gonna call her Indiana Girl in this specific video. So, Indiana Girl, I see her that night. She comes to my work the next night. We talk a little bit. She goes back to Indiana. Now, before she leaves to Indiana, she tells me that she thinks I'm special. She has a certain liking to me and she wants to keep in contact. And that's what we do. We keep in contact, we text basically every day, just basic stuff, just how you doing and that kind of thing. Fast forward to about a month and a half later, she decides to visit the same town that I live in. Now, the reason of that being is because her sister lives here. Now, this visit took place a week and a half ago. It all just happened, and that's why I'm here making this video. She tells me she's visiting again to see her sister, and she's bringing a different friend this time. A friend who has a boyfriend, and she also lets me know that she now has a boyfriend. She's in a fresh relationship, it just started. So I'm like, okay, you have a boyfriend, your friend has a boyfriend, but I tell her, I don't think that's gonna stop us from doing things together. Like, I doubt you're gonna not kiss me, not do this, not do that when we hang out. And she's like, tells me basically she can't do anything with me. And I'm like, okay, whatever. We'll see what happens in person. The second day she's in town, she texts me saying, 3-way with my friend and I. And I'm like, okay, sure, I have no problem with that at all. So she tells me to meet up with her at a bar that night. I walk to the bar, I meet Indiana Girl, her friend, which we'll call Susan, her sister, and the sister's boyfriend. We all meet up. I introduce myself to her friend who I'd never met before, who also has a boyfriend, Susan, and they'd already been drinking. I'd only had about a drink or 2 or 3. I didn't really want to drink too much that night. And we end up going from one bar to the next bar. And eventually it's about 10 o'clock. And they invite me back to their place, which is about a 10-minute drive away. So I'm like, yeah, no problem. We go back to their place. And the plan is to go into the pool. Now, as we go to the pool, we all have our clothes on, but I suggested we skinny dip. So Indiana Girl and we get completely naked. We hop into the pool. Susan's a little more reluctant. She goes in with a bathing suit on. I was attracted to both of them. I was more sexually attracted to her friend Susan, not as sexually attracted to Indiana Girl anymore, because I just started seeing her as a very nice girl. She's a very nice, sweet, innocent seeming girl. But they're best friends, like best friends for a long time. And I start kind of just messing around and I tell them that they should make out with each other. They never done it before, they tell me, but they eventually start making out with each other, and obviously it was hot. So then I grab Indiana Girl and I make out with her in the pool. And as I get done making out with Indiana Girl, I can tell Susan's right next to her and she wants to kiss me, so I grab her and I start making out with her as well. At this point, it's pretty clear that we all want to sleep with each other. So we walk back to their place, and this is where things get a little weird and feelings get involved. We all hop into the shower naked. At this point, Susan also decides to get naked, and we're all in the shower naked. I'm making out with both of them, and at this point in the shower, Indiana Girl starts behaving a little weird, and she decides to leave the shower. As she leaves the shower, it's the girl I just met, Susan, her best friend, and we're making out. I'm touching her private parts, she's touching mine, but then we can both tell that something's wrong. So we leave the shower and we talk to Indiana Girl, and we're asking what's wrong. she's the one that suggested the threesome. I didn't. She tells us that she doesn't want to share me. She has too many feelings for me and that she just can't do this threesome. And I'm just listening. And at this point, we're all three naked. And Susan, who has a boyfriend for about a year now, I think they were dating. Also, I should add, Susan's boyfriend is Indiana Girl's cousin. Whatever. So at this point, when she tells us to Susan that she wants me for herself, Susan's like, no, we already got this far. You're the one that wanted to do this. Like, let's do it. We already got this far. We both already cheated on our boyfriends. We might as well just go through with it. Like, please, let's have this threesome. And as Susan's saying this, I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to sleep. I want to have a threesome too, but I'm not saying anything. I'm just letting it unfold. And sadly for me, Indiana Girl can't do it. She says, no, like, just keep this a secret, but go to your room. I want him for myself. So big booty fucking Susan goes to her room, and I'm left with Indiana Girl. Even though I didn't really have a sexual appeal for her, whatever, I still slept with her that night. And after that night, nothing was the same at all. There was supposed to be an agreement between them that they don't tell anyone about this. But Susan is one of those innocent, really nice girls as well. And she had a bad conscience and tells her boyfriend, which is Indiana Girl's cousin, that she made out with Indiana Girl. That's all she tells him. She didn't tell him that I made out with her as well. She didn't tell him that we were skinny dipping. She didn't tell her that I was touching her vagina in the bathtub and she was touching my, my dick. She doesn't say any of that. But her boyfriend still gets very upset, and that ruined the whole trip for them. It was such a big deal that Susan left the vacation the next day. She flew back to Indiana where they both live. Indiana Girl was more like, I did it, it's whatever, it won't ever happen again. I'm not gonna tell my boyfriend what happened. It's just a one-time thing. And so I said, whatever. It's not none of my business. I'm not gonna say anything. And Indiana Girl and I, we saw each other 2 days after that for the last time. We went out to a bar. She invited me back over to her place to do it again, but at this point I have no sexual intentions for her, and I politely declined. And I haven't seen her since.